Welcome everyone to a casted game of Age of Empires 4, and today spawning in the north corner of the map playing in red, we have got Demu representing Team Liquid playing as the Japanese, and his opponent in the south playing in blue. We've got louemt also playing as the Japanese. Welcome everyone to Cliffside. That is the map for today, and we're facing up against a Japanese civil war. And usually I don't like mirror matches, but today is a different day. And the reason why I say that is because, well, these are two new civilizations. It's just one civilization, really, but you get what I mean. We've got a new civilization on show today as part of the Sultan's Ascent DLC, and I'm excited to see how these two players play it. Because they're going to be possibly having similar styles. I mean, they've got the same tools, right? Got the same map, so I'm excited to see how they fight it out against each other. And we do often see a bit of a trend to go for the Kura storehouse. So I'd be pretty surprised if we see any shinobi action, but I mean, I would love to see some shinobi action. We'll have to see if louemt or Demu decides to do that. Interestingly enough, does go for the farmhouse. No Tawara, early Tawara, which is kind of the baby wheelbarrow, I like to call it, for louemt. What's Demu up to? Is he going to go up for baby Tawara? Nope. Pretty standard builds here. Both players going for the 8 on food, 3 on gold, looking to tech up. The question is what are they going to tech up with? Is either player going to go for shinobi? We'll have to see. Now to introduce the map, Cliffside. It's a map that I'm actually really optimistic about. I'm really enjoying maps like this because it's a new map for Age of Empires 4 for one, but it kind of spices things up. But more importantly, there's a lot of resources, but a lot of the resources are kind of targeted in the middle of the map. Of course, you've got the sacred sites, you've got gold as well. You've kind of got primarily 2 gold veins in your primary area of spawning. And then after that, it's all about being in the middle. So it really does guide the players to get involved in the mid-map. Gives that kind of a pressure to get into the middle of the map. Because if you don't, if you lose the middle map control, then you lose gold, and then you probably lose the game. But we've got the Koka township, so we're going to be seeing some shinobi here action coming up for louemt potentially. It's going to be the Kura storehouse, so whilst it's a mirror match, we see a different approach from these two players. And that's going to make things very interesting. I do love the shinobi play. There is one thing I would say about the Japanese that I'm not too big a fan of, is the fact that you are having to get this landmark to get the shinobi, right? I guess in the mirror matches it makes it all more important because now obviously Demu's not going to have access to that unit. But, you know, the Koka township is not the most popular landmark, so I'm pretty excited to see louemt getting that. It does mean if you go for the Kura storehouse, it does mean you kind of feel like you're missing something, right? You're missing a big part of the Japanese civilization in the form of the shinobi. But what he won't be missing out on here, Demu, is farms, and free farms at that. The fact they get free farms, for me, ticks a lot of boxes, makes it my favourite civilization at the moment. And we shall see. He's actually, is he on stone? Yeah, he's on stone. So he's going to be looking to get the daimyo manor, no doubt. Although with 5 villagers on stone, yeah, I mean, yeah, possibly. Could be 5 villagers for the daimyo manor. Could potentially go for a second town centre, but it's a little bit less common these days with the Japanese. They tend to play this one kind of town centre play. We have seen louemt go for 2 town centres recently, though, so it's exciting. We can't really predict, right? Because it's just so early on to really understand how these civilizations play out. I think this is probably actually my first mirror match I'm casting of the new DLC. And then we're going to be bringing in a lot of sheep, and this is going to last him a long time, right? It's kind of this window where the economy should be a bit better for Demu because of the fact that he's gone for the Kura storehouse. He's going to rely on sheep a little bit less. And that'll last him a lot longer, and then that farming transition will be a little bit harder for louemt, unless he gets a lot of map control, right? Because if he gets map control, then he can get access to the deer camp. You can see here, just trying to deny that outpost with a shinobi, pulling on a lot of villagers to do so. Right? He's used all his abilities. Can engage once more, and can't shin out of there, I'm afraid, just yet. Oh, by the way, this guy has a lot of damage output. 20 melee damage at this stage of the game. It's kind of bonkers, but he's on his last limbs. Having to back away, and Demu looking to get that outpost. Quite keen on it, of course. And a bit of damage done already in terms of at least a bit of idle time on those villagers, forcing him into an outpost, but we'll be getting arrow slits. I'll be curious to see how many villages he has in gold. Absolutely none. Okay, so he's going to commit to that feudalage. No kind of cheeky fast castle here. Kind of understandable. Going to be getting an outpost on that farming as well. Yeah, looks like Demu is going to want to turtle up today. He's going to want to play this bit passively. And I did sense that's an option here on this map. Like, it does feel like the Japanese do that well in some ways on this map, because they do have a timing of sort of 15-20 minutes where when their economy gets online, boy oh boy, they can ramp up production. Mostly because of the fact that the Yumi Ashigaru only train in 13 seconds. But also the fact they can get Yorishiro from the gate landmark, the floating gate landmark, and that can be popped into production buildings, increasing the speed of production by 200%. And that is a significant boost. Now, it looks like louemt going to go for a second town center himself, getting the expansion nice and early. I wonder whether Demu... Yeah, I mean, he's going to be getting that Daimyo Manor upgrade. That's going to be boosting up the farm gather speed a little bit. Now, unfortunate for him, the way he's built this Kura storehouse meant that these farms spawn first, obviously in the northwest corner of that. I don't think that's quite in the influence of the town center. I think it's 3 farms worth. It should be around about there. This farm would be affected though. We'll be getting that free villager. Now, curiously enough, that next villager actually comes out with the next villager that trains, so it comes out with the double whammy. You'll see 2 villagers popping out right now. There they both are. Now, second town center is up and running now for louemt. Now, Demu is staying on stone, so he's either going to be thinking about getting the palace upgrade, maybe a second town center himself. I think it's going to be a second town center, considering the wood that he's got floating right now. And looks like louemt looking to wall up pretty early. He wants to play the late game, it seems. There's the shinobi already out in red. Demu's going to have to be careful of this one. Going to have to keep a track on it. We'll keep an eye on this one. Got to say, a very nice unit though for the Japanese. That's going to be pushing forward now. Question is whether Demu he's going to go for the back goal for his second town center. It's not a bad spot, and I think that's kind of a nice spot. Gold spawn there for Demu, I've got to say. Protected by 2 town centers. There is the shinobi. Got to spot that out, and I'm sure Demu realizes that's not a friendly villager. Now, the really nice thing about the shinobi, by the way, it does heal itself over time. Quite heavy on stone. Is he going to go for a 3rd town center? Surely not, right? Probably just going to be upgrading the Daimyo Manor. Right? We'll have to see. Well, it looks like we're going to be in for a long one here because louemt is definitely looking to lay things with the walls. So I guess I'll take back what I said about everyone fighting for the middle, because apparently these guys, they want to fight for their own corners first and then head out into the middle. I guess if they're both doing it at the same time, same sort of pace, it should be fine for both players. They're not kind of giving up too much of the middle just yet. Both being very greedy, of course. I think Demu will be pretty happy about that situation. Because he's quite happy to boom up behind this, and he's going to be getting that Daimyo Palace now. That's a significant tech up actually. He's going to give him an additional 50% gather or harvest rate on those farms. Alright, well, looks like louemt is going to go to the next stage faster than his opponent. He's going to go up with a floating gate. Does give him access to a Shinto priest, but also the Yorishiro. Demu's a little bit further away from that castle age. I've got to say, he's teched up into the Daimyo Manor and the Daimyo Palace. It does mean that there's a potential here for louemt to get some of those relics on the map nice and early. Might need some units though to protect. Although, having said that, Demu doesn't really have units of his own, so he should have pretty free reign of those relics. Going to be getting Takizaiku as well. I guess the second baby wheelbarrow for louemt, as I like to call it. But Demu is going to start working on his castle age landmarks soon. It's going to be the floating gate as well. It's going to go with 14 villagers, double the number of villagers. Now, of course, louemt will get to that castle age quicker, but Demu's not going to be too far behind, I've got to say. In terms of relics, he shouldn't be too far behind in terms of contesting. We're looking to get the ball here on the west side here, Louis. Only has 7 villagers on it, though. Let's pull the weak ones away. Interesting enough, he... Oh, wait, what? Oh, no, Louis. Louis. Oh, that's bad. He's still open. Yeah, and he doesn't know it. I wonder whether Demu knows it. I mean, he probably feels like he's got his... I mean, he's probably going to wonder, how did he get his scout in, right? At least Louis would be wondering. Yeah, okay. When I move it to sort of red and blue, it kind of messes up the spectator overlay. It switches it over. But I'm not going to change the colors now. Well, Yorishiro coming out. Alright, well, looks like Demu means business. Is getting Yorishiro in the production buildings. You can see, increases that production speed by 200%. That's really significant, guys. We're just going to deposit the other Yorishiro in the other barracks as well. So it's going to be a bit of a rush of tactics here with the samurai for Demu. He wants to try and keep his opponent on his toes, keep him behind, and try and challenge for those relics, no doubt. And in the end, louemt does wall that up a little bit. He's given the attack notification. Well, we do see a shinobi. Wait. That's louemt's one, right? Just to bear in mind. That's got to be louemt. He's the only one who can make shinobi. Gonna get a relic behind those walls and keep it safe. Now, relic-wise, he does have two here. One in the east, one in the sort of southeast area. And this one will be very safe for Demu, right? Interesting enough, though, keeping his shinobi. It's kind of funny, right? But here we are. Here are the samurai. Whilst louemt is busy getting relics, samurai are going to be knocking on his door. He's going to be getting the melee attack upgrade as well here, Demu. So that's going to be looking good. Unfortunately, you don't get the access to seeing that on the overlay, I'm afraid. But he does have the second melee upgrade in terms of attack. Riding in with the mounted samurai now, Louis. Looking to get the mobility on. It does have an Uma Bannerman. This is great for raiding. These guys, so the Uma Bannerman is going to be increasing the attack damage output by 15%. And this guy does have a bit of tankiness to him. He's got 270 health. And he does get a couple of, well, just one villager so far. It could have been better. Mounted samurai are going to take care of the veteran samurai, though. There's two of them. Could do well to bring this one back home. It's pretty low on health. He won't bother. There is a spearman, though. Oh, Louis, get out of there. Does pull the weak one away. Smart move. Does lose the Uma Bannerman. Got a katana Bannerman here, Demu. So it's infantry versus cavalry here, essentially. One relic has been deposited by louemt at the moment. He's got the eco advantage as well, so this could be tricky. I gotta say, though, the mounted samurai, a little bit tricky in the situation because Demu can just produce a bunch of spearmen, right? Especially with the katana Bannerman. That's bad news for these mounted samurai. It feels like the option here for the Japanese and Demu. The Japanese, they are incredibly strong with infantry, and I feel like he's making the right decisions. I wonder whether louemt might take into infantry himself and just get involved in a massive military infantry mosh pit. That's exactly looking to be the case. He's actually taking into the barracks, getting the hardened samurai himself, getting the adachi. Going to be increasing that +4 damage against infantry. Definitely a critical upgrade to get. That's already getting the third melee attack upgrade there for Demu. That's going to spell trouble against the cavalry. Oh, Uma Bannerman getting called out, I'm afraid. Does perish quite quickly. It's a bit precarious here for louemt. Doesn't have the military numbers that he'd want. Katana Bannerman, 2 of them. 3 of them, in fact. The Katana Bannerman themselves, 180 health, 13 katana damage. Compare that to a spearman. Pretty much on par, I guess. Just a little bit stronger than a spearman. In base raw stats, of course. Gonna try and get another relic in, but it's gonna be tricky now that his Shinto shrine has been taken. Gonna get a bit of raiding. This is one thing that mounted spearmen, mounted samurai do well. They do raid quite nice. He's got 5 villages already. We'll lose the one of them. He's getting quite a few villages here. Demu's got to be careful. The spearmen are getting involved, and he will lose the mounted samurai, but at what cost? I mean, he's taken a lot out of them. Got a lot of value already. And speaking of value, Demu wants to get value of his own. Ooh, don't want to be doing that. On that wood line, pushes the villagers away, and, well, that's caused a lot of idle time. Doesn't lose a villager there just yet. This villager might be dying pretty quickly, though. I'm afraid it does. Decent number of samurai, but, well, not enough there, you feel. Although defender's advantage coming in favour of louemt. I'm not sure if there's enough to hold because he's got the katana Bannerman here in good numbers. So even if he snipes one katana bannerman, there is another, and the katana bannerman does go down for louemt. But here we go. Reinforcements coming involved, and this should be okay for louemt in the end. Defender's advantage came online there for sure. Now, we would do well to idle the farms here, because this is very boosted farms. 50% gather rate on these guys, but Honor Bageisha getting involved. It's an incredible unit. Look at the attack speed. It's actually incredible. 0.9 attack per second. Add in extra infantry fighting in that fight. They do a lot of damage. Does lose that relic. Samurai chasing that down, and it's not really a fight that Demu could win, but he's pulling away units that could be on the front lines there for louemt, so he should be happy with that. He does engage anyway. That army for Demu will perish quite quickly. I've got to say, Demu does have a lot of military on the field, but it does... I mean, I'd say, to be fair, whilst louemt does have more villages, he's only just transitioning into farms right now, right? So it's not as set up well as Demu is, for instance. But he's getting there. Once the farms are up and running, he'll be in a good spot. Oh, Demu looking to put some pressure on though now. Maybe looking to burn that palisade and break his way through. Does have the Honor Bageisha. Veteran Honor Bageisha as well. I love this unit. It really dictates the terms of the engagement with the movement speed. Not only is it got attack speed that's really fast, but moves very fast as well. Does engage. It's going to really start to outnumber louemt. Louemt has got to be careful. Whilst he does have the villager lead, doesn't really have much military on the field. And he could be overrun very soon. We'll have to see. Demu looking just to cut off that Shinto priest with that Yorishiro. Does deposit it in the forge, maybe? Is that what he's going for? I'm not so sure. Yeah, it does deposit in the end. So we'll be giving a little bit of extra gold, 25 gold. Every 20 seconds, it seems. He engages here. Demu should win this fight with the Yorishiro because of the a bit of attack range. It's so strong. You see the spearmen tanking on the front lines, but the Yorishiro behind them, they're going to sweep up, and this is such an interesting dynamic for the Japanese, although having said that, the reinforcements coming in for the samurai, they will eventually win that fight. But I think the Honor Bageisha, they do so much damage and the ability to fight in a closed mosh pit like that. You get one front line versus one front line, but the surface area to attack isn't that great. The Honor Bageisha, they take care of that. They fight over the shoulders of their comrades, as they do now, but I think obviously the unit numbers here, they're just a bit overwhelming, especially with the armor for those samurai. They'll rip through the Honor Bageisha. But he's raiding on that wood line, and he's getting good kills. Takes out the gold vein. No villager deaths that we could see just yet, but he's really focusing on the middle. He's starting to push in with a lot of numbers. Samurai burning down again, the palisades, and louemt struggling to keep Demu out at this point. That could spell trouble. He's splitting up his army, possibly thinking about going on that wood line, but he's going to group together once again and take that really effective fight. No Honor Bageisha this time. He's engaging on that gold vein, and the Honor Bageisha, you can see just where they wouldn't necessarily be able to engage, they are. They'd have to go the long way around, but they will be taken care of though. He's back on stone, Wolf chomping at the bit. Back at home. Let's just see what's happening here for Demu. I think it was Mounted Samurai that does go down eventually. But he's really starting to push and put some pressure on that wood line. He's being trapped though. louemt coming in from the north with a couple of veteran samurai just to get a good surround. But again, Demu has good numbers. He has great numbers, in fact. Defender's advantage will take over, but again, cost-effective fights here for Demu. That is for sure. On the east side, trying to get some mobility, and Honor Bageisha will try and chase down those villagers. The villagers should be safe. But he's still being pushed on the front lines here, Louis. About to be raided once again. Does have 4 of the 5 relics. In fact, he's got all 5. He's deposited 4. One more's coming in. If it goes to a super late game, if all the gold veins do go away, that gold trickle coming in will certainly be helpful. But he's really diving in here. Demu does have the second armor upgrade for the ranged attack, and he'll be fine diving in underneath the town center, that's for sure. Gets the sacred site on the west side here, Louis. It's like Demu focusing on the central sacred site. He's focusing on the central base of Louis. He's got to be careful here. A lot of villagers idle. 22 villagers. A lot of the economy idle there. How are these guys surviving? They're just So tanky. louemt just not able to get on top of this. Survived a long time, caused all sorts of problems. Because of that, look at the food economy for Demu. It is looking very, very strong. 2,000 food per minute. Obviously got that great farming transition. A lot of farms are completely idled here for Louis. And this is getting so much value. It's forcing louemt to keep a lot of his economy idled, and it's really hurting him in the long game. There we go. Got more samurai coming in. And behind all of this, Demu going up to the Imperial Age. Going up with the Tanegashima gunsmith. That's going to give him access to the Azutsu. Going to be getting free tickets, free siege units, or free, yeah, I guess free siege units, but also the special unique unit for the Japanese, the Azutsu. I'm excited to see those guys. They deal splash damage. They're kind of infantry, but they do a lot of damage against buildings too. Diving on that economy. I think the biggest thing though, obviously Demu's not looking to win the fight and win the game here. Although he's causing a lot of damage to villages. He's killed 24 so far. It's mostly the idle time that's working out really well. Diving underneath the Shogunate Castle. But now with that Imperial Age, I mean, louemt is nowhere near that Imperial Age, right? It just looks like the ability for Demu to produce now is looking really strong. That farming eco is really, really live. I think the problem is it's such a nice play to see, but the Koka township, I think in mirror matches, it's really difficult to do damage, right? He has to do so much damage with the shinobi to counteract the farming that comes in for Demu so early. Gonna head forward with 4 katana bannermen with the samurai in behind. And we even see the Azutsu already. 5 of them joining the fight nice and early. The Azutsu gonna be getting 160 health a pop, 35 damage ranged, 130 versus buildings. You can imagine just with 5 of these, that's gonna be dishing out a lot of damage. 650 damage together on a building. And that katana bannerman for louemt goes down very quickly. Villagers here pretty exposed. They're going to be cut off by the infantry. Demu spots it. They're going to be hacked and slashed, and a couple of innocent lives, I guess, were lost. Going to be getting a keep, though. The Castle of the Crow here for louemt. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I mean, sure, he should be able to get some good favorable trades with the trade land, with the trade post. And it is a good static defense, but it just feels like the Azutsu might start to overrun as the game wears on. And don't forget, these are free siege units. They are absolutely free. Well, not all of them, but as in, he gets free tickets. So he's paying for these ones, but these ones would be free every so often. But he's pushing in now. He's going to lose access to those relics, so the gold trickle will cease now for louemt. And if he loses the production as well, that's going to be problematic. There's a lot of barracks here, a lot of forward production, and if he loses that, he's going to have to replace them quickly. Doesn't really have the wood income to do that. There's Azutsu on the back line, samurai on the front line. Might be looking to upgrade here, louemt, but I don't think he has the elite upgrades just yet. These are elite samurai versus samurai veteran. Yeah, louemt has to wait. He's going to lose access to the relics, and it's still a while out from the elite upgrade. 30 seconds. That's going to be plenty of time for Demu to take out production. Now all of a sudden, even with the farming transition from Louis, that food income, he's got to be able to spend it, and he's going to struggle without these production buildings. Might be engaging just now, just before the elite upgrades come in. Might come in time, but actually this is a great initial fight here for Demu. He's definitely happy to take this fight. He is up against Castle Age units. It is now Imperial Age units. Does have that tech up, but take a look at this. He does have the 3rd melee armor upgrade here, Demu. So he does have that little bit of an edge. Does get cleaned up though. louemt with the defender's advantage, of course. And a nice forward castle position. Does have the rockets there. Give him a really good staging ground here for Demu to attack from. Does have 2 of the sacred sites. Or at least 1 of them actually. Sorry, the middle one. But take a look at the Azutsu ripping through things. And this is a problem because louemt can't focus on the Azutsu, right? He's got a front line to take care of first. And once he does take care of that, he will focus on the Azutsu. But the Azutsu have done a lot of damage already. Taking out another barracks. It is on fire, and this is looking a bit difficult here for louemt. Needing to take the gold on the east side for now. Might see a bit of a snatch and grab here. I wonder whether Demu will spot that if he tries to sneak away those relics. All right, well, louemt holds on for now, but he needs to get a couple of more favorable battles if he wants to win the game. There's Zutsu looking good. Could be the big difference maker, actually, the choice of landmarks in this mirror matchup. Oof, one shots to the houses. Not that he's near the population cap, but he might get capped pretty soon if those houses keep tumbling down. Samurai going to be jumping on that sacred site in the middle. Does have the castle of the crow. But there's Zutsu on the back line. There's quite a decent number of Honor Bageisha, actually. And these are really strong. These are going to be helping on that front line, although they are pretty much the front line at this point. But there's just huge numbers there. 53 military versus 18. That central area will be lost by louemt, and the next will be the castle of the crow. I think he's down and out. It doesn't have the ability to produce, right? He just lost too many of his barracks. Can't zerg out units. And here we are. Demu going to dive in on that castle of the crow, and well, that's all that was needed. Demu takes the victory on cliffside. Just made the different choices on the landmarks, and it seems to make a big difference. Hope you guys enjoyed the castle game. Take care, and see you next time.